Greetings from the Empowering Temple of Praise Church, being constructed at 3615 Reed Street, Fort Worth, Texas, 76119. Thank you in advance for your continued seeds, tithes, and offerings that's helping us get to where we need to be. There is a word from the Lord. We'll sing later. There's a word from the Lord in the second letter to the church at Corinth, 2 Corinthians, Paul's second letter. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 through 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. I'll be reading from the BV version. Here is what is recorded. God has shown me amazing and wonderful things. But I don't want people to think more of me because God has shown me these things. So that I wouldn't come proud of myself and too prideful, God gave me a thorn, i.e. a problem. This thorn caused pain in my body, and I know it was nobody but the enemy that was allowed to make me suffer. Verse 8 say, 3 times I begged the Lord to take away and remove this thorn from my side. But verse 9, he said unto me, my grace is sufficient. My power is the strongest when you are in your weakest point. So Paul says, I'm very happy to brag about how weak I am. So powers of Christ can rest upon me. Last verse 10, because of how I suffered for Christ, I'm glad that I'm weak. I'm glad for the hard times. I'm glad even when people say mean things about me. I'm even glad when difficult things come my way. I'm glad when people make me suffer. Because when I am weak, I'm really strong. Oh, I love that. Using for a subject from which to preach. In spite of your current condition, be thankful. Yeah, this is the week of Thanksgiving that's set aside. Family, friends coming together. Watch the boys win, hopefully, right? Thanksgiving, and you got 2 or 3 games, and you can eat all this good food, and just a day that we set aside. We thank them every day, right? But a day that we're allowed to come together. People take off, people drive, people fly, and you come to go places you hadn't been and see family and friends you hadn't seen in a while, and I love that, right? It's just the spirit of Thanksgiving, but it's not just the spirit of being thankful for seeing other folks, but just the spirit of Thanksgiving for all God has done for us. All of the things that he has done for us, which means back to the subject at hand, in spite of your current condition, God say, tell them, Bishop, they need to be thankful. A thorn, a thorn, a thorn. When I looked up what is a thorn, here's what was given to me. A thorn is in someone's side is something that is hurtful, something that is painful, something that is harmful, something that is even bothersome. It's nagging, right? But it's not deadly. So, you know, just tired of it and it's just getting on your nerves and I just can't handle this and it's too much for me, but yet you're taking it, right? That thorn, that thorn, that thorn. And almost every one of us has had a thorn in our side. If you don't have a thorn now, you had it, or you gonna get one. It just happened, right? Because God allowed this thorn to happen in Paul's side. Watch this. Paul said so that he won't get too big-headed. Paul said so that he won't get too prideful, right? I'm big like that. I got the big head. I got the knowledge. I'm smart. God bless me to have this position. Or God bless me to have this finances, this wealth. So in order for me not to get too prideful and too big, God allowed a thorn in my side. Isn't that right, Paul? Paul said, but you know what? Now that God told me that his grace is sufficient, Now I have a changed mindset. Because at first I was complaining, why? The Lord, I've asked you 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times to remove this thorn from my side, this problem, this pain. It ain't killing me, but it feels like it's killing me. And I don't even like it because it's uncomfortable, God. And 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times, he said, God gave him the same response. I'm not removing the thorn. What you need is grace. Oh my goodness. So my grace is sufficient, meaning my grace is enough. All you need is to understand that mentally, and you will be able to get through the thorn physically. Oh my goodness, here it is. Thorn, Bishop? Yeah, thorn, because a thorn in this instance can represent a plethora of things. What do you mean, Bishop? Glad you asked. A thorn can represent your relationship status. You may have a relationship status. I ain't gonna say I love it, but it intrigues me when I see folk relationship status go from happy and in a relationship, and in the next month, it says it's complicated. Oh my goodness. That's called the thorn. Like, wait a minute. I thought y'all see y'all at the movies. I saw you at the sharing where y'all went out to eat and how y'all having fun at the bowling alley. And then the very next month, you got a thorn and you change your relationship status from we good to it's complicated. What's complicated about it? Well, we ain't so good no more. We ain't going out together. He ain't answering his phone. She ain't answering her phone. It's complicated. So your thorn could be your relationship status that ain't on par like you expect it to be. But you say, no, that's not me, Bishop. Okay, well, your thorn could be your education status. You right. I've been trying to get a degree. Because they said you must have a bachelor's to go in the field I want to go in. And I got an associate, but it's hard because of my situation to get to the opportunity to go to school, because I got to work, because I got bills to pay, and I can't get there. And I've tried to do it online, but I'm not an online person. So I want to go to the school, but they only have the classes during my hours at work. And so your thorn could be an education status that you're trying to move up to obtain. You say, no, Bishop, I already got my education status I need. Okay, well, your thorn could be your credit score. Oh my goodness. I've spoken to several, and I've been helping folks with credit scores because trust me, I've been there at 425, 90 or whatever. I've been there. I understand how important it is to have a decent or a pretty good credit score, right? I've been there, done it. High as 839, I believe, and as low as 425. I've been there, but I wouldn't have even thought about the 839 had I not been at the 425. Preach, Bishop. I'm trying to help somebody. That was a thorn in my side that gave me trouble, that had me wondering, had me worried. But God said, my grace, I got you. My grace is sufficient. I need you to go through that weak point so you can realize how important it is to trust in me for your strong point. Oh my goodness. You say, well, no, Bishop, my credit score is already 800. Well, maybe your thorn could be transportation. I ride the bus all the time, and now they say I can't get no bus pass because I make too much. But I don't want to buy no car because my credit score bad. Oh my goodness. You may say, but then I borrowed my mama card, but then it stopped on me. Then my uncle said he got a car to let me use, but it 2 tires on flat. And I don't have AAA because I let that go because come on now. Your thorn could be a plethora of things that's going on in your life that may not necessarily be going on in anyone else's life that you know. But it's a thorn, right? Because it's uncomfortable to you. It feels bad. It doesn't feel right. You're like, it ain't killing me, but I just feel like I'm dying because the stuff that's happening to me, I don't like it. I don't like it, and it's uncomfortable. Disheartening, it's discouraging. You may say, no, none of that fit me, Bishop. Well, your thorn may be a health issue. You may say, don't nobody know what's going on but me and God. I ain't tell my wife, I ain't tell my husband, I ain't tell my mama, I ain't tell my daddy. The doctor told me this one thing, and it's just been bothering me. I don't know if I don't even want to go get the blood work, because he said, get the blood work, let's verify, let's check it out. I'm scared to even go get the test, Bishop, because I'm afraid of what the blood work gonna show. Your thorn could be a health scare that the doctor told you about. You say, well, no, Bishop. No, I just came from the doctor and they gave me all 100s. They said, yeah, I got A's. I think I got a B plus in blood pressure, but everything else I got A's. You say, that's you, right? Okay. Well, if none of that happens with you, maybe your thorn is your stress levels. You say stress level, Bishop? Yeah, stress level, because there are stress at times can be good. When you tense up to brace for something, you stress, and the impact is lessened because you expected an impact, and it's caused you to stress for a moment and brace yourself. So sometimes stress is good in certain situations, but at other times, stress can make your blood pressure go up. Stress can make your health status decrease. Stress can give you a migraine headache. Stress can cause you not to even eat right. Stress can cause your body to just be racking with pain because you're wondering and worried. So you're not only physically incapable of doing what you want to do or need to do, but you can't even think right. And you forgetting people's names, forgetting appointments, and forgetting to make this call, and thought you went to work at 5, but you're supposed to be there at 4. And so stress, it could be a stress issue that's a thorn. And God, you say, God, help me with this. And you like, God don't seem like he's answering my prayer. But when you ask him, he's answering. Oh my goodness. He may not answer the way you want him to answer at that moment. But trust me, when you answer and you his child, he's answering. A lot of time we don't understand the answer because his answer doesn't come right then and there the way we would want it to come. And he said, hey man, you ask me, let me answer. Well, I'm telling you how you should. Well, if you want to do it, you go ahead and do it. But if you're going to come to me and you trust in me and you believe in the response that I'm going to give you because you know I'm omnipotent and I know all things, then let me handle what you're asking. But Paul, when he asked, God gave him the same answer. My grace is sufficient. I ain't removing that thorn. I need that thorn to be there for a reason that you don't understand right now, because I don't want you to get the big head, because you may get the big head and then you really can't represent me like I want you to represent. Oh my goodness. Preach, Bishop. I need you to have a sense of responsibility when it comes to representing me. When folks see you, your thorn is going to keep you level-headed. Oh my goodness. Because there are some folks who the thorn went there and they went on about their business and forgot about God and until they start having problems. And then when they get a little thorn in them, then all of a sudden they come back. God said, you know what? How about if I just leave it there? Hey, it ain't going to kill you. It's just the thorn. But it's uncomfortable and I don't like that feeling. Have you ever had, what is that? I forgot what you call it, but it gets in your finger. I forgot what you call it, but it's underneath. You can see it. It's underneath your skin, and you can see it, and you can't just pull it out. You got to get like a stick pin and burn the end of it and try to prick it out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all probably saying it. And you get out. I mean, that's you can just and it's like, man, it's nerve wracking. It ain't gonna kill you, but it's uncomfortable. That's the mindset that we have when we go through these major issues that God deemed as a thorn in our life, and we ask God to remove it once, twice, 3 times. No, he says, right now I understand you. I hear you. Don't think I don't hear you, but right now I need the thorn to stay because I don't want you to get the mindset that you can go ahead and go on and forget about me. I need that thorn to remain there. And that's why I say, in spite of your current condition, you need to be thankful. Why be thankful? Because there are a lot of other folks who are worse off than you are. There are a lot of folks who want to be in your shoes. And I know we say that, and there's a song that sings that. I think it says, be grateful. Because there's somebody who's worse off than you are. Yeah, it literally says that, right? Be grateful, because there's somebody who would want to be in your shoes. Be grateful. Be grateful. I mean, good song. If you ain't heard it, listen to it. It's a good song, true song. But we don't know that, right? Unless we hear somebody tell us, gosh, I wish I was you. That's the only time we think somebody would want to be us. But I promise, there are folk looking at you that you don't even know about. There are folk watching you and listening to you that you don't even pay attention to. Why? Because you're so caught up in the things that you're going through and what that thorn is doing in your life and not realizing that there's somebody who said, man, if I had your arm, sure, I will need mine. If I had the hands you got, if I had your transportation, if I had your car, man, there are folks who you don't see it, but who always say stuff like, "Boy, I wish I could drive where she drives. I wish I could live where she lives. I wish I can have what he has. I wish I can walk like he walk. I wish I can talk like he talks. I mean, and oh, I wish I can dress the way she dresses or the way he dresses. I like the shoes, but because we don't hear that on the daily, then we get so caught up in the thorn that we are having an issue with and not realizing that there's somebody who don't see the thorn. They just see the glory that we have that we don't see because we are focused, you right, on the thorn. Oh my goodness. In spite of your current situation, you need to be thankful because God has already blessed you with everything that you need. Yeah, he'll give you the desires of your heart, right? For if you're faithful. But the necessity, the needed things, he takes care of you. He takes care of us. That's there. Don't get so caught up in what you requested that you may not have, and that little thorn that you're going through that's uncomfortable, that's not going to kill you. It's just bothersome. But he has that there for a reason, to keep you level-headed, to keep you straight. You know, a lot of time, that's what people do in the court system. You know what? I'm going to keep this ankle bracelet on you. Not saying that you're going to go out there and do anything, but I just want to just keep you straight. God say, listen here, I know you. So if I allow that thorn to remain there, even though you asked me several times, trust that I know what I'm doing. You like, Bishop, I told God I ain't going to do it no more. You can tell me what you told God all you want. God know what you'll do and what you won't do. Even when you say you won't, he may say, no, I know you. As soon as I remove the thorn, you're going to go out there and act a fool. But I got you because I love you. My grace is sufficient for you. Just go ahead and keep living with that thorn. I'm going to give you the strength and the ability and the know-how to go through what you're going through, even with that thorn in your side. You can't see it right now because you got your arms folded and you got your head down and you like, this don't make no sense. I don't make no sense. I tithe. I give seeds. I give an offering. I do this. I even sent forwarded the sermon from last Sunday and 2 Sundays ago and 3 Sundays. I'm the only one that forwarded the sermons on Sunday. And yet I got this thorn in my side and I don't see sister so-and-so and brother so-and-so and him and her and with no thorn. Here's the deal. What you got to understand. Just because you see I think I got 64. It may be 60. I don't know. It may have had 2 gone in the back. But however you supposed to have, I think I got 64, right? If you see this all the time, like, Bishop, hey, just smile, good smile, okay. That don't mean I ain't got no thorn. That's the problem with a lot of us. We look at other folk and that's because they smiling, just because they look like driving a nice car, a nice house, and got a good career position and just wearing good clothes and just bought them a Gucci and an MK bracelet and all these things. We like, gosh, they got it going on. You have no idea what they're going through. You don't know what thorn they are dealing with and what they are facing. Right, but they don't want to just come to you and be like this all the time. Why do that? That reeks of someone who doesn't trust God or who don't know him. That you just, what's wrong? Where do I start? I mean, this is crazy. I understand that to a certain extent, right? When it first happened. But after a little time, The trust factor need to step in. Do you trust God? Well, you need to go on about your business because God say, hey, my grace is sufficient. You just move on and have a different mindset. Let me move on. Look at this text again. But I want to focus on just the 10th verse. Here's what Paul said. When God said, my grace is sufficient, Paul said that's when he had a change of mind. Because at first, he was asking questions like we do. What is going on, God? This don't even make no sense. Why would you allow this to happen? This is crazy. Remove this thing. Get rid of it. All my grace is sufficient. Okay, Roger. Who knows? Was it weeks later, month later, year later, however long? Father, in Jesus' name. Hey, God, this thing is still here. It's bothering me. I've been going to church and I've been leading the services and I've taught a few people. I done raised a brother, Timothy. I done talked to and creating churches and building churches all over the country. And I done wrote letters to these different churches and all this. I'm getting the church together and you need to get rid of this thing. You say you was able to do that with the thorns? Yes. Yeah, my grace is sufficient. Huh? Okay. He came back in the third time. God, I don't know what's going on. Can you move this thing? My grace is sufficient. Because my power is really the strongest when you're weak because it shows, right? But when you think you already strong and you have the big head, you don't really think you dependent on me when you already strong and everything is going right. A lot of time you think it's you. I don't want you to think that. So my grace is sufficient. The grace is covering you. So when I say my grace is sufficient, what I'm saying is whatever thorn you are dealing with, my grace is going to cover you so that you will be able to go on wherever you're going with that thorn. And it's not going to stop you from doing what you need to do. Preach, Bishop. Preach, Bishop. Here it is. Yeah. That thorn is going to be there. Sometime the thorn may be there until Christ returns. Let me help somebody. It doesn't mean that he's going to remove it. It doesn't mean that Paul's thorn stayed there forever. But it's a possibility that sometime you may ask God to remove a thorn, and he's like, you know what? I know what's best for you. That thorn going to stay because I love you. And then he may in other times say, no, I'm going to move it next year. I'm going to move it in 6 months. But he's going to move it in his due time. But what he doesn't want you to do is stop and don't do anything until the thorn is removed because you're wasting time. You are marking time, as we say in the military. You marching, but you ain't going nowhere. You walking in the same position in place. He's like, no, I need you to go ahead and keep living life. But I got this thorn. My grace. Here it is. All you have to do is change your mindset. See, I believe some of us are like little Johnny. Because here's what little Johnny did. Y'all know little Johnny, right? Little Johnny say, he told his parents that, Mom, Dad, you know what I was thinking about? I think about 7. He said, I thinking about, yes, son. Yes, sir. I was thinking that we would really have more to be thankful for if Thanksgiving came after Christmas. I mean, for a 7-year-old, that sounds pretty good, right? I mean, kind of makes sense if you really look at it, right? He's saying, right now, I don't have my Christmas presents. So if Thanksgiving came right after Christmas, like the next month, instead of the month before, if it came in the month after, we'll have more to be thankful. So it makes sense, right? No, little Johnny. No. See, what little Johnny failed to realize that adults need to understand is that we have 3 tenses. You got the past, you got the future, and you got the gift. Gift? Yeah. You got the past, you got the future, and the gift. I don't remember those tenses. Oh, let me help somebody. You got the past, which the past tense are things that happened already. Gone. You have the future tense, things that have not yet happened that you long to happen. Christ's return, You know, you get promoted, you get hired on the job, or you graduate from, you know, have a child, have a family. It's a lot of different things. Future hadn't happened yet. But then you have the gift. What's the gift? It's the present. Yeah, while little Johnny was talking about getting presents on Christmas so he can be more thankful, have more to be thankful for, he didn't understand that every single day is a gift. It's the present. Every single day you open up your gift. If you wake up and open up your eyes, that's your gift. That's your present because you are in the present. Matter of fact, for the past 7 days, you had 7 presents. Preach, Bishop, I'm trying to help somebody understand. You had 7 presents in the past week. And when you open them eyes up in the morning, the first thing should have come out of your mouth is thank you. I don't know. You ain't got to go and Father, in the name of Jesus, we come this morning, Father, leaning on the everlasting. You don't have to do all that. Lord, thank you. I appreciate you for waking me up and going on about your business. Just let them know, thank you for this present, this gift that you gave me today. It's not promised that I'm going to open it up tomorrow, right? Because there are folk who ain't going to open it up tomorrow. There are folks who are here on Sunday, but they won't be here on Monday. Why? I don't know. We can't answer that at time. But we are blessed to open up our gift. We need to say, Lord, I thank you. And I know we can look, each of us can look back at a time when we can say, if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be in the present. I wouldn't have the gift that I have of opening up every single day because God have blessed me tremendously. Even if I don't have everything that I've asked for, the song say, if he never does anything else for me, he's already done enough. He's done enough. That's it. If he just he blessed me to wake up. That's it. You don't bless me to get any cars. You don't bless me to get a house. You can bless me to maintain my current status with nothing else new until I die and you return. Then you've done enough. I got to be thankful. Here's what little Johnny don't understand. We don't need more to be thankful for. We just need to be more thankful for what God has already tremendously blessed us with because there are folks who want to be in our shoes. Let me close with this. This man who said he had a parrot, right? You know, parrots talk, man. Parrot. And he had this parrot that he didn't understand until it was too late. He had him, fell in love with him, and all of a sudden the parrot started cussing him out. Parrot started cussing him out. He was like, this don't make no sense. I want to get rid of you, but you need to stop that. We're getting ready to have Thanksgiving in a few days. And I ain't playing that. Don't disrespect me. And don't. Parrot said, listen, MF, what are you talking about? You going on? I say what I want to say. And he got mad at the parrot. He's like, if you still talking like this tomorrow, 2 days before Thanksgiving, I'm going to do something that I hate to do. What, you going to kill me? You ain't going to kill me. It's against the law. You know, Parrot just talking crazy to him. So next day, he come in and he said, good morning. Parrot cussed him out again. Good morning, MF. He said, all right, that's it. He grabbed the parrot, took him out of his cage, put the parrot in the freezer. And the wife was like, what are you doing? He said, no, I ain't going to freeze him to death. I just want him to understand these are the consequences for him because and I don't want my parents coming over and you got friends coming over on Thanksgiving. Hey, we can't have that. So she said, well, put them in the back. They're going to be in the backyard. Well, put them, they're going to be up there. Well, put them in. Ask the neighbors. They already asked them. They said, no, they don't want the cussing parrot either. So she like, oh, I hate to see that, but okay. So a few hours later, he go back, he opened the freezer. Parrot kind of shivering. He takes him out. He said, now, that's going to be the consequences if you go in there. So the parrot's like, you know what? First, let me apologize to you. And the man looked like, huh? Yeah, I should not have cussed you out, disrespected. You was wonderful to bring me into your home when you didn't have to. And even though I started disrespecting you, you let me continue on. You didn't want me to, but I did it, and I disrespected your household. The man looking at him like, what in the world? This is crazy. I would have put you in the freezer a long time ago. He said, did the cold make you mine? He said, no. This parrot. He said, no, it wasn't the cold. I could take the cold. He said, I want to know what did the turkey do? He said, I want to know what the turkey. He was in the freezer. He saw the turkey. The turkey wasn't moved. Turkey was dead. So he assumed that turkey must have done something real bad to be in that predicament. That he said, you know what? Let me get out here and apologize when this guy come back and take me out of here. Here's what that means. Right? We can complain about anything and everything, right? But I promise you, if you don't believe me, inbox me and tell me, Bishop, here's what I'm going through. I'm going to be able to tell you, well, you don't know this sister or this brother or this man or this woman or this family, but this is their situation. And it's going to be worse than yours. You're like, well, what about the family or the man or woman that you talking about? Well, if they call me, I'm going to find somebody else who's worse than theirs. I'm telling you, I've done that to my daughter one time when she was complaining. I tell her, let's go to Cook's Children. Yeah, you see folks with little babies with oxygen tank, can't breathe. Is that little baby? I said, come on, let's go. Let's go feed the homeless. Took her to the home. That baby is homeless too. Look at that. It just touched her. Changed the mindset, right? See, it's all right to complain about what you don't have, and I can't believe I don't have this, and you got everything that a lot of folks would want. So, in spite of your current condition, God wants you to be thankful. That God will continue to bless and keep you is my prayer. Don't forget your seed, tithes, and offering. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. Enjoy family and friends. Be